Sir, you're muted, I think.
Yes, yes, I'm starting. It is not coming. No, no, you take this table, right? You take this table. You keep this on this table, camera. You keep on this. Uh, Now you take this small table to that place. Actually, today there is no power backup, ना, so that's why we are facing some problem. जितना close आ जाए, उतना close हो जाए. नहीं, you take, you have the mark. Okay. नहीं, from that you can, from there you cannot see, na, then you take that as much as close, no? It is visible to you. Okay. You start. Good evening, students. Welcome in next lecture of Math F212 optimization. Presently, we are studying the duality. In this, we have one important theorem 7.4.1, weak duality theorem. It is known as the weak duality theorem. For any pair of feasible primal and dual solution x comma y, the value of objective function in the minimization problem set an upper bound on the value of the objective function in the maximization problem. For the optimal pair x star y star, the value of the objective function are equal. So we have seen in last example, very first example we have done here. Here, when we have to prove that dual of the dual is the primal, at that time we have taken the problem maximize z is equal to cx subject to ax is equal to b, x greater than equal to 0. And here we are getting w is equal to yv, ya greater than equal to c, and y is unrestricted in sign. So using this problem, when we have maximize z is equal to cx subject to ax is equal to b and x greater than equal to 0, its dual will be minimize w is equal to yv subject to ya greater than equal to c and y is urs. Your display is okay. So now here it is given to you that x and y are the feasible solution. X and y are the feasible solution. So here we have taken the feasible solution ax is equal to b. Feasible solution means the solution which satisfy the constraint. So feasible solution is x greater than equal to ax is equal to b and x greater than equal to, right, non-negative greater than equal to 0. So when we take this, so if you multiply on both sides, pre-multiply by the y. So y ax is equal to y b, and y ax is what here. So y a x and yv is what, yv from here it is equal to w. And when we take the feasible condition of the dual ya greater than equal to c, this is the feasible condition for the dual. Some problem? Eh? Zooming. Okay. You can take, otherwise table little more. अच्छा वो खिंच जाएगा मेरे पास काटना. There is no other chair. Hmm? Okay. So here y a greater than equal to c. So in this, if you multiply, post multiply with the x greater than equal to cx. So cx is what? Y a x greater than equal to z. So in this case, we have the, if you equate on both sides, so this will give you y w greater than equal to z, and that is asked that the value of the, right, the value of objective function in the minimization problem. Minimization means minimization w. Minimization problem, set an upper bound on the value of the objective function in the maximization problem. So here we have the maximization, and so in general we have the upper bound, and at optimal w is equal to z. W is equal to z. So at that time we have the x star y star. Clear? Clear? Now theorem 7.4.2, given the optimal primal basis B and its associated objective coefficient CB, the optimal solution of the dual problem. Optimal solution of the dual problem, that is the y is equal to CBB inverse. So they are saying that y is equal to CBB inverse will be the answer. So to say that the solution is y is the optimal solution. So for the optimal solution, first it should be the feasible, right? Dual should, this y should be feasible. And what is the y? Y is the dual variable. Dual variable means uh, the primal must be, the primal must, when we have the when the y is the feasible, when the primal is the optimal, right? When primal is optimal, because then only at last you will get the w is equal to z. So primal must be the optimal. And for the optimal, if you take the problem, maximize z is equal to cx subject to ax is equal to b and x greater than equal to 0, if you are taking this problem. So in that case, for optimal, for optimal, what we have the zj minus cj for non-basic variable. For non-basic variable must be greater than equal to 0, then only we have the optimal solution. And what is the zj minus cj? Zj minus cj is the cbb inverse pj minus cj must be greater than equal to 0. And here we have the cbb inverse, it is given to you, that is equal to y. So y pj minus cj greater than equal to 0, or y pj greater than equal to cj. And you have seen, for this, the what is the dual? For this dual is the minimized w is equal to yb subject to ya greater than equal to c, and y is urs. So here the whatever this constraint, the same constraint are coming here. Same constraint, right? Same constraints are coming here. So first you say that y, from here we have seen y is feasible. Y is feasible. Then after, if you take y as a cb b inverse, it is given to you cb b inverse, right? So if you multiply on both sides by the b, so it will become cb b inverse b, right? And cb b inverse b, that is equal to yb is equal to yb from here, yb from here it is equal to w. So it is the w. And b is what? It is the xb, and cb into xb is equal to the z. So w will come, the w is equal to z, that is the optimal. Now you can say y is equal to CB, B inverse is an optimal solution of the dual problem, right? So each optimal solution is the first feasible solution. Clear? Online clear?
Yes, sir.
Now verify that dual dual problem of the numeric example given at the end of the theorem 7.4.1 is correct. Then verify graphically both the primal and the dual problem have no feasible solution. So problem is what? Maximize z x1 plus x2, x1 plus x2, subject to x1 minus x2 less than equal to -1 and minus x1 plus x2 less than equal to -1 and x1 comma x2 greater than equal to 0. So when you draw this graph, right, so here first constant is the x1 minus x2 is equal to -1. So when we take x1 is equal to 0, x2 will be 1, x2 will be 1. When we take x2 is equal to 0, x1 will be -1, x1 will be the -1. So here we have the line of x1 minus x2 is less than is equal to -1, x1 minus x2 is equal to -1. Let us draw the second line. When x1 is equal to 0, x2 is equal to -1, x2 is equal to -1, and when x2 is equal to 0, x1 is equal to +1, x1 is equal to +1. So here we have the line for -x1 plus x2 is equal to -1. And you can see here we have the when we take the 0 0 in the first case, so 0 0 less than equal to -1, that is not true, so that will come the feasible region on this side. When we take 0 0, right, so 0 0 less than -1, that is not true. So if you take, right, so here we have the infeasible solution, here we have infeasible solution, infeasible solution. Now if you add the s1 here and s2 here, a slack variable, and the associated dual variable y1 and associated dual variable y2 here, so what will be the its dual problem? Minimize w is equal to -1 or minus y1 minus y2, subject to, from the first constraint we have the minus y1 plus or plus y1 minus y2 plus y1 minus y2 greater than equal to 1, and from here we have minus y1 plus y2 greater than equal to 1, then we have y1 greater than equal to 0, y2 greater than equal to 0, and y1 comma y2 are urs. So as you combine this, you will get the y1 greater than equal to 0 and y2 greater than equal to 0. This you will get. So and here you can see, so this problem, the dual is given to you. Dual is equal to minus y1 minus y2 subject to y1 minus y2 greater than equal to 1, and minus y1 plus y2 greater than equal to 1, and y1 y2 greater than equal to 0. So here the same problem, it is given to you. Now when you draw the graph for this, so here let's say it is the y1, it is y2. So if you draw the first constraint, so first constraint means y1 minus y2 is equal to 1. So here you will get the when y1 is equal to 0, y2 is -1, y2 is -1, and when y2 is equal to 0, y1 is +1, y1 is +1. So this is the line, and when we take 0 0 as a reference point, so 0 greater than 1, which is not true, it will come on this side. Now for the another constraint, if you draw minus y1 plus y2 greater than equal to 1, so when y1 is equal to 0, y2 is 1, y2 is 1. When y2 is equal to 0, y1 is -1. And when we take this line, now if you put 0 comma 0, so 0 is not equal to 1, so 0 is not greater than 1. So on this side we take, so again we have the infeasible solution. Again we have the infeasible solution. It means here main thing to note that if the primal is infeasible, one conclusion I am telling you, when primal is infeasible, then dual is coming as a infeasible, right? Then dual is coming as a infeasible, right? Then let us have another example. Later on I will conclude this point. One remark you note down: when primal is infeasible, then dual is also infeasible. Now let us have this problem. Consider the following LP. Maximize z is equal to 50x1 plus 30x2 plus 10x3, subject to 2x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, 2x2 is equal to minus 5, 4x1 plus x3 is equal to 6, and x1, x2, x3 greater than or equal to 0. When we have this problem, from the second constraint, what is the value of the x2? From the second constraint, what is the value of the x2? X2 is equal to minus 5 by 2. But here x2 is what? Non-negative, and it is coming negative. So this shows that it is the infeasible. So primal is infeasible. Need not to solve. Directly you can say primal is infeasible. Now we have to write the dual. So dual means already all the equation in the equation form. Need not to add the select surplus. So here we have associated the y1. Here we have associated the y2, and here we associated the y3 as a dual variable. So dual will come. Problem is of maximization. So minimization. W is equal to whatever the right side, 1 minus 5 6. So it will come. अरे यार ये तो चार्ज भी नहीं है. Student, recording is going on online.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So minimize W is equal to, it will come y1 minus 5 y2 plus 6 y3, subject to 2y1 2y1 plus 4 y3 greater than equal to 50, and here we have y1 plus 2y2 greater than equal to minus 5, and here we have y3 greater than equal to 6, and y1 comma y2 comma y3 are urs. So you have the, this is the our dual. Now so why inspection that primal is infeasible, that I have told you, right? Primal is infeasible. Then after, so that dual in problem A is unbounded. So in this case you can see y2 we can extend, up to any limit. Y2 we can extend up to any limit without disturbing this constraint, because here we have the y1 plus 2 y2 greater than or equal to minus 5. So it means y2 we can take up to any extent without disturbing the constraint. Due to that, the value of minus 5 by 2 will decreasing continuously, right? The value of minus 5 by 2 will decrease continuously, and the minimum of the W will decrease continuously. This shows that the solution is unbounded. Means there is no boundedness on the y2 to get the minimum value. As you increase the value of the y2, right, you will get the minimum and or more minimum. So here we have the, means the inspection of the second dual constraint shows that y2 can be increased indefinitely without violating any of the dual constraint. Y2 you can take up to any extent. Thus W is equal to y1 minus 5 y2 plus 6 y3 is unbounded. So from here you can see, right, from the first problem, whatever today I have done, from the first problem, primal is infeasible, dual is also infeasible. From this problem, from the second problem, primal is infeasible, but dual is unbounded. So from here we can have this conclusion: if the primal is infeasible, then dual can be infeasible or can be unbounded. But if the primal is unbounded, always the dual is infeasible. Always the dual is infeasible. That is the important conclusion from the quiz point of view. In the quiz, we generally ask these type of the questions. So from quiz point of view, this is a very important conclusion. If primal is infeasible, then dual is infeasible and dual is unbounded, right? And primal is unbounded, then dual is infeasible. Uh, for this problem, you can see from the book, right? You can see from the book this numeric example at the end of the theorem 7.4.1. There we have the one example. With that you can conclude this. Now what happen if one of the two problem has unbounded objective value? If one problem has unbounded objective value, then what will happen? Means either the maximize z has the unbounded value or minimize w has the unbounded value. If unbounded value means its value will be the plus infinity, its value will be the minus infinity, then only we say it is the unbounded. The answer is that, and in general what you want, what you know, in general what you know, z, maximize z always less than equal to, by the duality big theorem, minimize of the w. Means minimum objective is always the upper bound of the maximum problem. Minimum problem is all, objective function of the minimum problem is always upper bound of the objective function of the maximization problem. So here we have, so here if the if the uh, if the z is unbounded, if z is unbounded, then infinity less than equal to w possible? Infinity cannot be less than some finite quantity, so not possible. Not possible. So when we have unbounded solution, its dual will be always infeasible. It cannot be feasible. It cannot be feasible. Otherwise, this theorem will violate. If the this is the unbounded, if this is the unbounded, can the minus infinity greater than the z? Again, not possible. Not possible. So now what is the conclusion? The same conclusion you are getting. If the primal is unbounded, then the dual cannot be the feasible. Cannot be the feasible. Dual is always infeasible. Clear? Online clear?
Yes, sir.
बैटरी इज लो. देखना चार्जर बढ़ गया. हो गया चार्जर. एक बार उसका नहीं तो प्लग पीछे देख लो ना. हो गया ना. चार्जिंग स्टार्ट है ना. Today you are facing so much disturbance. Now consider the following LP. Maximize z is equal to 5x1 plus 12x2 plus 4x3 subject to 2x1 minus x2 plus 3x3 is equal to 2, x1 plus 2x2 plus x3 plus x4 is equal to 5, x1 x2 x3 x4 greater than equal to 0. Write the dual each of the following cases. First verify the given basis. Given basis is feasible or not. For the primal, next using the y is equal to CBB inverse, compute the associated dual values, verify whether or not primal solution is optimal or not. Right? So first we have to verify that primal basis is the feasible or not. So here they have given the basis as a P4, P3, P1, P2, P2, P3, P1, P4. So already in the equation form, so need not to add the slack or surplus. So let the associated dual variables are y1, y2. So dual will become maximize means minimize w is equal to minimize w is equal to 2y1 plus 2y1 plus 5y2, subject to here we have 2y1 plus y2 greater than equal to 5 minus y1 plus 2y2 greater than equal to 12 and 3y1 plus y2 greater than equal to 4 and y2 greater than equal to 0 and y1 y2 are urs. So as you combine, so what you will get when you combine these two, you will get the y1 is urs and y2 is the greater than equal to 0, non-negative. Y2 is non-negative. Clear? So first we have written the dual. Now first we have to check the whether the P3 P4 P3 basis is given to you as a P4 P3. So what is the P4 P3? So P4 P3 is the 3 1 and 0 1. No, P4 0 1 3 1. The sequence you have not to change, right? Sequence you have not to change. So here P4 is the 0 1, P3 is the 3 1. So now for the feasible, right? For the feasible means you can solve the feasibility means you can solve the equation 3x3 is equal to 2 and x3 plus x4 is equal to 5 and x1 comma x2 they are the non-basic variable, so they are at the zero level, so when this solution will exist, when this determinant inverse you can compute, right? Determinant is the non-singular. So here if you have the P4 P3, so B inverse we can compute, and B from the B inverse we have the xb is equal to B inverse B. This is the B inverse B, and B inverse is B is coming as a 13/3 or 2/3, and both are greater than equal to 0, then we say they are the feasible. So here the xb, right, xb corresponding to B is equal to P4 P3 are feasible. Now here we have the CB. CB is equal to it is the C4, it is the C3, C4 C3, that is the 0 comma 4. So 0 comma 4 and y is equal to what? Y is equal to CBB inverse. So CBB inverse means CB into B inverse. We compute the it is equal to 4/3 and 0, 4/3 and 0. Then the dual feasibility, how you can compute the dual feasibility? For the primal optimality, dual must be the feasible. For the primal optimality, dual must be the feasible. So dual optimality, how we can compute? We can compute by checking the all the dual constraint, right? By checking all the dual constraint, it means in all the constraint you put the value of the y1 y2 as a 4/3 and 0, right? 4/3 and 0. So here if all will satisfy, then we say it is feasible. If the dual is feasible, then primal is the optimal, so dual feasibility we check 2y1 plus y2, that is the 2 into 4/3 plus 1 into 0, that is the 8/3, 8/3 not greater than 5, it implies that this is not feasible. If it is not feasible, dual is infeasible, implies that primal is unoptimal. If the dual is infeasible, it implies that primal is unoptimal. That they have asked in this question. Now see the question what they have asked. Write the dual. We have written in each of the following cases. First verify given basis B is a feasible for the primal. So we have computed the xb and we check whether it satisfies all the condition of the feasibility or not. Then using the y is equal to CBB inverse, compute the associated dual values, verify whether or not primal solution is optimal. So primal solution is optimal is possible if dual is feasible or not. Dual is feasible or not. That is the one way to compute to check the feasibility. Another way is what? Zj minus Cj you compute. With that you can compute the optimality. But here they knowingly they have given this example that find through the theorem of the duality. Now, for example, third we are taking B is equal to P1 P2. So B is equal to P1 P2. So corresponding entries are 2 1 minus 1 2. So here we compute the B inverse. So when we compute the B inverse, XB will be the B inverse B. XB is the B inverse B, and here you are getting the 9 by 5, 8 by 5. So both are greater than equal to 0, greater than equal to 0. This implies that XB is equal to feasible. Means primal is feasible. Here the primal is feasible. Now we compute the dual solution. Dual solution is what? CBB inverse. So CBB inverse means this is your C1, this is your C2, and this is your B inverse. So CBB inverse. So here we have the minus 2 by 5 and 29 by 5. Now this y1 by 2 will satisfy all the constraint. Will satisfy all the constraint. So y satisfy all dual constraint. Thus XB is the optimal. Thus the XP is the optimal. Directly you can see. Ultimately, what we are checking? Ultimately, we are checking what? Zj minus Cj. Zj minus Cj means CBB inverse Pj minus Cj. Right? And CBB inverse is what? Ypj minus Cj. And because the problem is of maximization, so it should be greater than equal to 0. So it will give you Ypj greater than equal to Cj. That is the dual constraint. Ultimately, we are doing the same thing. Right? Clear? Now, an LP model includes two variables x1, x2 and three constraints of type less than. The associated select are x3, x4, x5. Suppose that optimal basis B is equal to P1, P2, P3 and its inverse is the 0, 0, 1 minus 1, 1, 1, 1, 0 minus 1. So they are saying that we have the two variable problem. Two variable problem is and it is of they have not specified whether it is the maximization problem or minimization problem. So you can say z is equal to c1 x1 plus c2 x2 subject to less than equal to b1 less than equal to b2 less than equal to b3. They have not specified whether the problem is of maximization or minimization. Only they have specified that we have the two variable with the three constraints and all the constraints are of less than type. So due to the less than type, here we have to add the slack variable x3, slack variable x4 and slack variable x5. So now we have the five variable problem. So in this, the optimal primal and dual solution are, they have given that optimal xb is equal to 262 and y is equal to 032. They have given that this is the optimal dual solution and optimal primal solution. Determine the optimal value of the objective function. Right? You have to determine the value of the z star or the w star in two way using the primal and dual problem. Using the primal and dual problem. So z is equal to what? Z is equal to, you know that z is equal to c1 x1 plus c2 x2 and w is equal to what? It is the b1 y1 plus b2 y2 plus b3 y3. and x1 right, x1 x2 x3 is given to you, x1 x2 x3 is given to you, that is the 0 x3. So x1 x2 x3 is given to you as a 262, right, 2 6 and 2, 262. And here y1 y2 y3 are given to you as a 0 3 and 2, 0 3 2. Now you have to compute the value of the b1 b2 b3 c1 and c2. So what is the b1 b2 b3? b1 b2 b3 means b inverse b1 b2 b3, b1 b2 b3 is equal to the 262 optimal value of the primal, 262. b1 b2 b3, if you multiply with the b inverse, then it is equal to the xb. Generally it is what? It is the xb, and xb is given to you as a 262. So from here you can compute the b1 b2 b3 by taking inverse of the b inverse, and multiply with the right hand side. So here you will get the b1 as a 4, b2 as a 6, and b3 as a 8. So 4 6 8. So when we put the value of the b1 b2 b3, 4, here we put the 6, here we put the 8, 4 6 8, 4 6 8 multiply to the 0 3 2. So you will get the uh, b1 b2 b3. So here you will get the 34, right? That is the yb, it is the y, it is your b, 468032. So you will get the 34. Now we have to compute the cb into xb. So for what is the cb, right? Here we have the uh, what is this y? Can you recall the previous day question? What is the y? From where we get the y? From where we have the optimal value of the y when all the constraints are of less than type? Yes, here we have the x1 x2 x3 x4 x5. So where we have the value of the y1 y2 y3? The value of the y1 y2 y3 are at this place, y x1 at this place, y right, means the if all constraints are of less than type, then the z coefficient below starting basic variable, the starting basic variable will be the dual solution. So it is given to you, this is the 0 3 2, this is the 0 3 2. So it means what you the value you have, the z3 minus c3 is equal to 0, z4 minus c4 is equal to 3, and z5 minus c5 is equal to 2. And what is the z3 minus c3? Z3 minus c3 is what? It is the cb b inverse p3 minus c3. And cbb inverse is what? Cbb inverse is the y. So it is the yp3 minus c3. Yp3 minus c3 is equal to 0. And what is the y? Y is given to you as a 032, and p3 is given to you as a 001, right? P3 is given to you as a it is the b inverse. It is the when we have the v inverse. Oh, okay. We know that P3 is what? 100, because it is a slack variable. So it is the 100. So it will give you 032 100 minus C3. C3 for the basic variable is 0. So it is equal to 0. And similarly, one more thing. No, CB is corresponding to, we have to take the P1 P2 P3. CB we have to take corresponding to P1, P2, P3. So let the P1, P2, P3, it will become the CB. CB be inverse. So CB will be the, not this, not this. CB be inverse will be the C1, C2, 0 corresponding to P1, P2, P3. It is the C1, C2, C3. And here we have the B inverse, and P1 is the 1, 0, 0 minus minus C3 is the 0 is equal to 0. That you have to take. So from here you will get the value of the C1, C2. Similarly, C1, C2, 0, B inverse P4 minus C4. Similarly, and that is equal to 3. And similarly, we take the CB inverse, CB inverse P5 minus C5, and that is equal to 2. So here we have written that is the CB, C1, C2, C3 into B inverse minus C1, C2, C3 minus C1, C2, C3, right? And that will come not minus C1, C3, C4, C5, C3, C4, C5, right? CB be inverse PJ. PJ is what? I. PJ is what? I minus C3, C4, C5. And that is given to you as a 032. 032. So from here you will get the C2 minus C1 as a 3, and C1 minus C2, C1 is equal to 2. So it will give you C1 is equal to 2 and C2 is equal to 5. So solution is the Z is equal to CBXB. CBXB means CB is equal to 250, XB is equal to 262. That is again the 34. Here when we have the table, here when we have the table, here we have the x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. And since these are the slack variable, these are the slack variable, these are the slack variable, these are this is the slack variable. So here whatever you will get, that is the y1, y2, y3, y1, y2, y3, right? So it is true only when all are of less than type and you have added the slack variable. And this y1 is equal to 0, y2 is equal to 3, and y3 is equal to, you have the 2, and this is equal to CBB inverse, CBB inverse P3 minus C3, CBB inverse P3 minus C3. It is the CBB inverse P4 minus C4, and it is the CBB inverse P5 minus C5. And what is the CB? B is given to you as a P1, P2, P3. So CB will become the C1, C2, 0. C1, C2, 0. B inverse I minus 0, 0, 0. Right? That will be the I, we have taken the as an identity matrix. So it will come only the C1, C2, 0, B inverse. And that you put, you will get the value of the C1, C2, and right, C1, C2. So with the CBXB, you can compute the value of the Z. So that is the syllabus for the forthcoming quiz. It will be on 19, right? So that is the syllabus for the forthcoming quiz. In next class, I will start the additional simplex method. Any doubt in this question? You have any doubt? Any doubt in this question?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.